Now we're ready. Now we're ready for Artboard 5, and I think this is kind of a fun one here. We're actually in the book on the section on page 150 called Converting Smooth Points to Corner Points. We're going to start this lesson out creating a bump just like we did before. We'll start on the left, we'll slide and set and slide up, then we'll set and slide down. But before we begin the next bump, we're going to have to do something very different. I want you to think about your Option key, if you're on a Mac, or your Alt key on a Windows computer, as a turn signal. If you're driving a car and you're ready to turn the corner, you have to turn your turn signal on. And so we're going to be using that Alt key or that Option key as we work through this lesson to create these bumps. Now I do think that this little diagram appears awfully confusing, so I'm going to have us start a practice just above it here in this empty part of the artboard. I'm going to go get my pen tool. I'm going to make a pattern just like this. There's 5 bumps there. I'm going to make one like that, only I'm going to do it up here. And I'm just going to talk you through this first of all. We'll do it a couple different times so you can get a feel for it. I want to do my starting where I want all these bumps to be ending on the bottom. So if you imagine this plane here, I'm going to do one right about here in the middle. So I'm going to start as I did before with set and slide up. I want my curve to head up, so I'm going to set and slide up. Then I'm going to come over where I want my curve to end. I'm going to set and slide down, but don't release the mouse yet. With my mouse still pressed, I'm going to hold on a Windows computer the Alt key, or on a Mac the Option key, and I'm going to bend the direction line in a different direction. I'm going to bend the direction line up near that other one, and then I'm going to release my mouse button first, then my Alt key or my Option key. That's going to tell the next bump that it also has to go up. Now I'm going to come over here where I want it to end. I don't need to use a turn signal yet, so no keyboard key. Set and slide down. Then when I've pulled it down as far as I would like for the height of the arc, I'm going to hold my Alt key down or my Option key down, bend that direction point back up towards the top, slide it up, lift my mouse finger before the keyboard finger. And then that's going to tell my third bump. It also has to head in an upward fashion. I'm going to come over here where I want this to end. Set my mouse button down and slide down. 3 nice bumps all going up. When I've got it pulled to the height that I'd like, I'm going to hold my Alt key down or my Option key down on a Mac and set and slide up. And I want it kind of tall, the same as the other one, so it'll be about the same height of an arc. Release my mouse button first, then my finger off the keyboard. That's going to tell number 4 it also has to go up. I'm going to set and slide down. Keep my mouse finger down, hold the Option key down, set and slide back up. That's going to tell my 5th curve that it has to go up also. Come over here to where the 5th curve is going to end and set and slide down. Now I'm going to hold my Command or Control key down and click on nothing so you can see my series of bumps. I didn't line them up exactly across the bottom, but I could go get my direction tool, my direct select tool, to move these down if I wanted to do that, or I could have pulled a blue guideline down like we did in a previous lesson. That to me is a pretty easy way to work it. You just have to remember to move that key to do that. Now the book's actually telling you to do it a second way. I'm going to come down here to an empty spot in this area to show you the way the book's telling you to do it. And you could do it either way, they both work. They both use the Alt or the Option key like a turn signal, but here's the way the book wants you to do it. They're having you set and slide up, then come over here and set and slide down, and actually release your mouse button. No fingers are pressed on anything. Then go back to that spot you just left, hold your Option or your Alt key down, and you get this tool here called the Convert Anchor Point tool. Grab the tip of that with that tool, pull it back up, release your mouse button. Whoops, I must have zoomed out too far and it zoomed out for me. I'm going to set and slide down, release my mouse button again, hold the Alt key down, grab that same point, bend it back up again, release my mouse button first, then my other finger off the keyboard, come over here, pull another one down, release the mouse button, hold the Alt key down to get the Convert Anchor Point tool, pull it back up, come over here, set and slide down, release my mouse, hold the Alt key down, grab that back up. When I say Alt, it's Alt for Windows or it's Option for Mac. I'm using a Mac here for the video. Set and slide down to end it. I've got my 5 bumps. I'm going to Command or Control click to deselect that. go get my direct selection tool. I think I am going to zoom in a little bit here because I lost my spot somehow along the way here. My zoom capability there that I was zoomed in, and I can continue to tweak these different points. If you put, when I did this, I purposely didn't put them on top of each other, but if you want to put them on top of each other, it gives you a nicer arc. But it's going to be harder to find them if they're exactly on top of each other if you want to do any tweaking. And of course these are not lined up again. If I lined them up it would look even nicer. And again, I could put one of those blue guidelines down to help me do that. So there are two different ways to do that. This one's going to take a lot of practice. Repeat viewing this several times, practice it several times. I'm going to do one final one here on this, then I'll do one at the bottom that goes in the other direction just to give you a feel for how that would work. Set and slide up, set and slide down. I'm going to hold my Alt or my Option key down to bend that arrow or that direction point back up. Come over here, set and slide down, hold my Alt key down or Option key down to bend it, to change the direction, set and slide down with no key. When I'm doing the beginning of the arc, I don't use any keyboard key. It only is when I do the second click at the end of that particular arc when I hold the Option key down or the Alt key down. Then come over to the next spot, pull down, set and slide down, bend with the turn signal, Alt key or Option key. Come over here and do one final one, and then Command or Control click off of it. Pretty good. If you need to fix any parts of it, you know how to do it. Now I'm going to do one that is the opposite. I'm going to make a series of bumps that go in the opposite direction. So I want to set and slide down because it's going to head in a downward fashion, then come over here across from it, set and slide up. I'm going to bend with the Alt key or the Option key, bend it back down the other direction. Come over here where I want it to end, set and slide up. Bend it down with the Alt or the Op key. Come over here, set and slide up. Alt key down or Option key down to bend it back in the other direction. Come over here, set and slide up. Bend it down. Come over here and end it, bending it up. Looks pretty out of line. I'm going to click off to select here, get my direct selection tool, line these points up better so they're in line. One thing that students often do here, which causes me to mark their grade wrong on this, is they have a bunch of points that are not connected. They take a bunch of curves separate and pile them up together, but none of them are really one continuous line. And so when I get my selection tool, when I test your work, I come in here and I click on it with the regular selection tool, and it should all be one continuous line. If it's not, I know you didn't do this right, and that's where you'll lose points. So that's a way for you to tell if you did your work right. You can come in here and fix any part of it that you need to fix. I'm not as worried about precision as I am the direction and that you've got the technique. That's what we're looking for in this exercise. You can also read the steps up here. I myself found that a little bit intimidating. I think it's a little bit easier if you follow one of the two methods that I showed you. Either keeping your mouse pressed while you come back and press the Alt or the Option key, or releasing the mouse and then go back with the Convert tool and changing the direction. And that's where we'll stop this video for Artboard 5.